Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you all had a good week. Morning for very good timing. It was like a perfectly timed shriek. Bad Seed, good morning. How are you both? Thank you for coming by. I'm going to do a lot of narration today, apparently. I like this game. There's just a lot of reading. I always fancied myself getting into voice acting, but I'm not going to. It's day 21. I've almost survived for a month. I think that's pretty good. Someone whose body is trying to destroy itself due to proprietary information protection. All right. All right. What do we got to do here? What do we got to do? What do we got to do? Let's see. Something bad's going to happen with Ethan, the bounty hunter, in like a week or so. Might be a good side gig. I just like... I think in another life I would have been an actor. If I were maybe born without crippling anxiety or given crippling anxiety throughout my life. But I always liked the idea of like playing a character in some big story. I always thought that'd be cool. Like if I were to ever do my own video game, if I were to ever make my own video game, I think I would do some voice work in it. But I've never done voice work. All right. Good thing with voice acting, it can be done remotely in your own home. Nobody can see you. Well, I mean, you can do it in your own home, but like I would have to set up a studio. Like just doubling my office space wouldn't be good enough because you need like reverb reduction, sound absorption panels, and everything. I looked into it. I could do it for my own home, but I wouldn't mind going into a studio to do it. It's more like the anxiety of like everyone's going to be listening to me, right? Like a huge group of people is going to be listening to me. That's where the anxiety comes from. Also, it's not logical. The anxiety doesn't have to make sense. It's just there. I keep hitting escape. I need to make money because I need to pay 100 cryo to get across the gap here. And there's a couple things over there I need to do. So I think maybe we'll do deliveries because I'll get paid for deliveries and put up Feng's targets a little bit here, I think. So let's drop a 5 in here. Positive outcome. Okay, got paid a little bit. I mean, I could just do that again. They want Havenage data. I'm going to sell all my Havenage data here because fuck Havenage. Fuck them. This is maybe just a repeatable way of making income. But I'm also worried that something is maybe secretly ticking up behind the scenes on these. Yadigan data. But I can always just get more if I have to, so it doesn't really matter that much. Alright. I have a single unit of drool caps. Okay, I've got enough to cross the gap, but not cross the gap and eat, which I need to do. So... frick. I'm hooked on a feeling. You got me believing. Okay, let's hack another Havenage agent here. Got 5 crowd for that. It's not that. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good, Free Fake. I could just have a singing stream. No, I'm not going to do that. Karaoke stream. That'd be pretty funny. Probably annoying to my wife, though. Sell more Havenage data. All right. So I'm thinking... I'm thinking of a number. No, not thinking of a number. I'm going to... Okay, I should pay my way across the gap first and then see what options open up before I spend the rest of my dice. Having only 27 cryo is not terrible. I have a dose of stabilizer. All right. Take the quote-unquote ferry across the Founder's Gap to the Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Eshe. Stubborn XPR spacer. I don't know who that is. Sorry. She adjusts the strap on her shoulder, holding up a hand in recognition before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek. Esha stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peek raises her eyebrows at you. Eshe, please, do you want everyone on the station to hate us? Eshe hardens. They want to hate us, they can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. The station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Eshe sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction, but I am saying we need to get these supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Peek explains. Peek, Eshe rolls her eyes. What are you doing? Peek ignores her. We're with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Eshe interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while the right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there and... They turn to Eshe. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Eshe interrupting, but... Eshe turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping, Peek finishes. That's terrible. Eshe looks back at you, her fierceness fading. Peek, please. Eshe gathers herself and the supplies. Eshe, we need help. Just like the refugees needed us, we need others too. They smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us. The climbing Briar is docked at the broken spoke past the Greenway, in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we're keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Eshe turns to leave and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Eshe shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Eshe already picking up speed as Peek calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Alright, new drive, which would probably be flotilla aid. Yeah, that makes sense. Eshe and Peek need help gathering supplies for the refugee flotilla quarantined past the wastes. Will you help them? I do need to get to the wastes. Maybe because Ashton might be down there. I just need to see if he's there. And then come back. Okay, also... Wow, it is dark, huh? That's weird. The network, the cloud here is like roiling blackness. It's not even like some kind of dark spiral. And then bright again. Weird. There's the climbing Briar. The wastes. Wild margins, Haifa commune. So this is where they... So I guess that's why they call it the Greenway. Overgrown biosphere. Interesting. Alright. I do have... this. The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? Let's unlock this. Cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking like a little touch paper. Like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The hunter and killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in, the entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open. Distorted gateway. The one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you're falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them. A figure, turned away. The only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Gardener. Ingrown farm administrator. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink, out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the Greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. Weird. I pulled something physical out of the data. Wow, that's very odd. So there's like a gardening administrator AI that once it got cut off, maybe, started growing processes instead? That's weird. Alright, let's check out the Greenway here. So rather than simply thrash through the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of this overgrown jungle to try to better navigate its hazards. Or the simplest way to explore the Greenway is simply to pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. And then going green. Exploring the Greenway is unlike any other place on the eye. Its overgrown chambers defy mapping. Then we have the Haifa communes, a self-sustaining community. I can work the canteen. Newcomers to the commune can work within the canteen, preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. Or I can work the grow beds. Grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the members and fueling their lab work. You're invited to assist in maintaining them. They're both, one's engage in and one's endure, but they're both safe actions. The only way to become part of the commune is to work your way in through long service. It isn't for everyone. Wild margins, artificial wilderness. This is looking for Ashton. Rather than hiking around the wilderness, you can make use of your skills, tap into the cloud and find Ashton Pie's signals. Or you can look for tracks. Seems like the obvious way to track someone, but in this overgrown tangle, the simple task suddenly becomes difficult. Enkidia seems to think Ashton's out here at the wild edge of the Greenway. Time to see if that's true. So I could lose condition on this as a negative action, or I can lose energy on this. But this, I have a +1. I have a +1 to both of them. I'll think about that. These are the wastes. I can gather scrap. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding components that are still usable and staying safe. It's an endure action that I need +1 for. I wonder how many of the actions that I've been taking you would need +1 for. Because I was thinking, like, man, what's the point of all these different skills, right? But it seems like a lot of the skills I might have been taking required +1s, but I just already had them, so you don't notice that. Okay. So there's a few things to do out here, but none of them are terribly urgent. That doesn't cost every time, does it? No. Okay. I need to eat. I was thinking maybe I spend my 3 on a sunbathe action here. Okay. That gets me to tomorrow. And then I think Emphasis' meal thing is going to be done, so maybe I'm going to eat some massive meal. I hope. I have a 6. Which I should spend on a goal I want to advance here. Honestly, man, I just want this tracker out of my fucking body. I can make 21 cryo there. Or I can make 13 cryo here and advance Feng's goal again. I think I'm going to do that. I feel like Feng is kind of stringing me along here. But it's the only lead I have on removing my tracker at the moment. Alright. Time to sleep. I have one more day. I think before I lose condition again. Alright. Has anything urgent come up? 2 4s, a 1, and a 2. Did I unlock any digital actions on the other side here? Let me check that out before I get rid of these 1 and 2. Nothing. Okay. So the 1 and 2, I could turn them into data, I guess. But I don't really want to, so we're going to re-roll them. Well, the other number, it's not 2 and 2, and a 4 and a 5 is still a bit better, though. Alright, let's see what Emphasis got going on. Emphasis preparing the Girol caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish-white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, sleeper, he smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. Seems like the story should match that feeling somehow. Maybe you will feel better for telling it. Recall your oldest memories. You start by explaining that you are emulated from a person. Many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable. Or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive and that on occasion they come back to you like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but just can't bring it to mind. Emphas nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time. how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphas finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the jewels into it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce and whorls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that SNR left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience, you know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. This is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphas takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back to the bright market, somehow changed. All right. Then you can just go back to... seems that Emphas has another recipe. Emphas mentions an old recipe for Matsutake broth. All he needs are 2 handfuls of Matsutake caps, freshly sourced. I think I saw those in the import-export. Export Matsutake. No, I don't know where to get Matsutake. They must be in the Greenway somewhere. All right. I'm going to drop a 4 here. Okay. Sleeper. You see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Mengi's. The kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Feng palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives. Ripper worms. My slate has been buzzing like crazy. Seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. What do we do? Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the ripperworms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored on Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Mingi. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny ripperworm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jen will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Okay, so I'm assuming I have to hack Hardin agents now. These take 5s or 3s. Woof. 6 or 4. God damn. Alright. Well, I can hack one with a 5. It doesn't leave me with, well, much else. But there's the agent port that I can put a ripperworm into. This will provide Feng with the ability to rip any data he likes from Hardin's network. Alright, the worm makes a little nest among the agent's data. Enjoy your stay, little friend. And I could use some money today. Oh, man. Oh, boy. What to do? Oh, yeah. Emphasis food filled my whole bar, so that's good. I don't have to worry about food for a couple days. I don't think like there's anything here that's necessarily a good idea for me, so I think I'm going to hack a couple agents? Avanage agents? Those take 2s and sell their data. to at least make some money today. Also made additional money from hacking, so got that going for me too. All right. I need a 6 or a 4 tomorrow. I'm going to drop down... okay, so here's the question. Do I use the stabilizer today, or do I wake up tomorrow with only 3 dice? If I add just 1 piece of scrap... Well, it's too late now. There's nothing I can do. I can't buy any scrap because the scrappers haven't showed up. The merchant only sells ship mine fragments. You'd wait, since I'm not really stressed for time. That's true. I don't have any time. I mean, whatever's going on with Ethan here, but that's still got like 6 days on it. Yeah, I don't really have any other goals that are pressed for time here. Yeah, nothing up here is pressed for time. Okay, so we'll drop down to 3 dice tomorrow and see how it goes. I need a 6 or a 4 to get that other Ripper Worm, but I also have a reroll, so I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. All right, let's see if we get lucky tomorrow. Yes, I got a 4. Okay. All right. So I can hack that other agent with my 4. Got another 5 cryo for that. That one's really helping me out, that perk. Just trickling money to me. Worm begins tearing through the data cache, spinning out a thread to Feng's terminal. Alright, let's go see Feng. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenna. Approach. You come up behind Feng and he turns and notices you. Jenna stops mid-tirade as you arrive. She turns to you. You again. You here to vouch for this layabout? I am. She laughs. Well, well, and what are you two up to? Feng winks at you and interjects. It's like I told you, Jenna. I'm helping them out, getting them settled, sorting their life out. They're a sleeper. You know what that means? Jenna softens. She looks a little embarrassed. Of course I know. She stops to think. Look, Feng, I get it. You're trying to help, but if you want to keep this job, you're going to need to be a bit more reliable. Feng nods solemnly. Won't happen again, Jenna, I promise. She looks suspiciously between the two of you. Okay, then. She turns to you. And look, I didn't mean to... Just be cool, all right? She turns and walks back to the bar. Well, well, didn't know you'd stand up for me, sleeper. Feng claps you in the back. I appreciate the solidarity. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Ripper Worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls a display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Feng says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with him personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility right here on the eye? He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? Conwayers set up there? I'm guessing so. Got themselves set up in the wastes. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way. Round the rim, past the greenway. He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out, and reclaimed the whole rock. Why work with Harden? Access? Old connections? Not sure. Feng looks back at the screen. But if Harden is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Feng stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Harden's been prepping, been planning, has to be there, and we're going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by the Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that track of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a massive scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my brakes. He winks. Feng grins widely. Now I've got to go ask for some time off from Jenna. Wish me luck. He waves as he walks back to the bar, where Jenna is standing, a look of deep exhaustion in her eyes. Okay, got a drive completed there. That was hack Harden's network, and got a new drive. What was my other drive? Crack Conway. Feng has located a Conway facility buried deep in the waste and needs your help to crack and expose Harden. At least he's, I don't think, been stringing me along. If I trust him, he has been working on breaking my tracker at least. Alright, I got an upgrade point. I think I'm going to hold on to it for now. Hold on to it for now. I need 2 or 3 upgrade points to really triple down, I guess, on one of my skills, so. Alright, I have a 5 and a 3. I'm okay for cryo for now. I'm okay for food for now. So I'm going to go and do some work of some kind on the Greenway. This is where Feng wants to meet me. Why is it that you always have to wait for Feng? When is he going to be the one waiting for you? I don't think I can do anything in the wastes. Yeah. I need supplies for the climbing briar, but I suppose I should explore the Greenway. Also, man, oh man, I'm kind of like going in a bunch of directions at once. I want to, okay. I might regret this. But I want to put some work. Oh, I can get scrap from collecting tithes. That could help. I can get energy for patrolling. I don't. So, my thinking here, if I get in with Yatigan, they could protect me from bounty hunters. So, I wouldn't be able to escape. I've got like a whole bunch of different paths on the go here. So I still have a bunch of work here. I get paid for this work and put myself on this colony ship. Except the problem is, on the colony ship, I have no access to stabilizer, and I am still being tracked. With Ankita, if I took on work as mercenary, I could potentially earn enough money to buy stabilizer and protect myself from bounty hunters. With Yatigan, they already have access to stabilizer somehow. And they would be able to protect me from bounty hunters. or I pursue the AI stuff in the hopes that maybe I find maybe either a way to leave my body behind or have the AI network help me to scramble my tracker. And then I need Feng no matter what to disable the damn thing in the first place. So there's like a few problems I need to solve, right? Going AI is your vote? Yeah. We're not sure if that's like even an option though. Like we can pursue the AI stuff, but that's a gamble. We don't know if that's even an option. Because we just uncovered that information from our own backstory when we were talking to Emphis, is that the emulated mind still requires a body. So like the body breathes even though it doesn't technically need oxygen, because the mind requires that input. So that might be, I'm thinking like short-term, long-term goals. So long-term would be just leave the fucking body. But in the short term, we do have one clock that we're racing here, and we don't know what the blowback from Ethan is going to be. But also, it looks like getting in with Yadigan is going to take a lot. So we could really focus on this. So I think short term, I want to really try to race Ethan here. So I'm going to put a 5 in here. And I might get a piece of scrap out of this. No. I'm going to put a 3 in here. Ah. Those could have both gone better. And they didn't. A neutral and a negative. I am creating a time pressure for myself by doing this. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to take my stabilizer tomorrow. Just the more I think about it, the more concerned I get about Ethan. I feel like he's going to go and get it. I feel like he's taking this personally now. But like, did I really do anything to really piss him off? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm taking my stabilizer. I'm for some reason I'm getting increasingly nervous about Ethan. I don't know why. I just suddenly made myself very stressed out about it. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta protect myself. Okay. That's not great. 64422. That's better. 2 6s, a 4, a 3, and a 1. That's much better. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grind out some Yadigan stuff here. I'm gonna drop a 6 in here. Give me a damn scrap. There we go. I'm gonna drop a 4 in here. Give me some energy, please. All right, yeah, I'll take that. And then, okay. And then I'll go and spend a 6 in the greenway, maybe. I think I'll do this because this will give me more progress. So that's progressing the AI path. You find your way onto a well-kept pathway between encampments where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. Ah. Okay. Steal the harvest. There's loads of food here. Why should these farmers keep it to themselves? If you can do it quickly, they might not even notice it's gone. If you get caught stealing, there's no way you'll be able to work in the stacks. It's as simple as that. Some farm stacks from the old station have survived, and the farmers that work them are always looking for new workers. They pay by yield, and I can barter for food. The farming collective who control the stacks don't like to sell their food piecemeal, but for the right price, they'll let it go. I'm wondering if that is for eating or if that's for buying, because I need some of those new mushrooms for Emphas. I have a 3 and a 1. There's still, yeah, big, huge cloud here. I gotta figure out what to do with that cloud. Okay, I have a 3 and a 1. I mean, the 1 is obviously best spent on data. And the 3 I could spend on anything else, I guess. Probably something I have a bonus on would be best. Block maintenance. Play Tavla. I've almost got a way through there, but also, like, I'm gonna try this. If I'm prioritizing this, I should commit. Fuck. Alright, well, at least I still got a +1, but man, I'm not having very much luck on the patrols. You chase off a group of kids throwing stones at a woman's unit, but lose them in the tangle of corridors. You give up exhausted. Alright. That's that. Oh man, Ethan's freaking me out. Those are decent dice. Alright. Alright, well, let's go spend cryo in these stacks and see if this gives us food or if it gives us mushrooms. It gives us food. Okay. The farmers take the chits hesitantly and then pass you the food. That wasn't as good as buying food from Emphas. So Emphas charges 15 for 3, and that charged me 16 for 2. While I'm here, I'm gonna do another exploration here. I'm gonna drop a 6 in this one. Alright. Find your way onto a well-kept pathway between encampments where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. I think I already said that one. There's the mushroom groves. Okay, new drive discovered. Grow mushrooms. The aviary would be the perfect place to grow mushrooms with some work, that is. While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather and study these species in an untouched form. 2 grove spores, or girole caps, forage for fungus. The fungus that grow in the deep groves of the Greenway are typically avoided, but those with sharp eyes might find useful fruiting bodies. And then the aviary. Clear overgrowth. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. Cut away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place can be turned back into a garden of sorts. So I can create a little sunlit refuge for myself. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anywhere for this seed? Maybe that is where I plant the seed, in the sunlit refuge. Maybe that will attract the gardener AI to the area. It's a safe action, at least. Alright, we'll keep that in mind. I'm pressed for time down here. I don't even know if getting in with the Yadigan's actually going to end up protecting me or not, but it feels like it might. Okay. Positive outcome. Oh, I'm halfway through. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers, you walk back through the low end. A chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor, away from the main thoroughfare, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper, Sabine's voice crackles through. I have seen you with Yadigan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I'm sorry if I've dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time, a pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you've just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An SNRP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor. Still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Holding me captive? No, they're not holding me captive at all. I willingly work for them. Sell this Yadigan data and turn it into scrap, maybe. I can buy some scrap from them. So I can keep myself in stable condition for a few days with the scrap that I have. God damn it, Sabine. You're an SNRP employee. Why didn't you tell me? That's the problem. When you lie, right? When you lie to someone, even if you think you're doing something good for them, you teach them not to trust you. So then when you're like, no, you can really trust me. It's like, I don't know that now because you've already lied to me once. I have 2 4s and a 1. I feel like I'm going to spend another 4 up here, but that'll give me energy, which I don't need. But I'm doing it. This might be just like a false hope. Fuck me. There's no way. Alright, let's put some work in to clear the aviary, I guess. Negative outcome, really? What a waste of a 4. God damn it. Hack another Yadigan agent, I guess, with my 1. Go do some shrooms. I'm not doing shrooms yet. Anyway, I have to grow them first. Then we'll see. We'll see what I do with them. Yeah, I'm gonna clear that aviary because I think I think I'll plant the seed there. I think, but I could grow shrooms there if I needed to. All right, I have a 4. God damn it. I'm not going to beat Ethan, whatever's going on there. There's no way I'm going to beat Ethan. I have 2 days to get 6 points here. Fuck. Might as well finish this and see if I can get familiar with low enders at least. New drive discovered. Build a home. Oh, there's a derelict unit in the low end that remains unclaimed. With lots of scrap and a little work, it could be yours. That's interesting, so I could not be living in a container anymore. Wasn't expecting something like that. So I'll need 4 scrap. Bested's gonna eat some more chicken. This half-built unit looks long forgotten, a project that never made it. With enough scrap, you might be able to seal it up. Before attempting to fix this place up, you'll need to amass enough scrap to make the repairs. The scrap was intended to keep myself in stable condition. I can get more scrap from doing this stuff. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, I am getting pulled in a lot of different directions here. Right, got lots of scrap. Fuck it, let's go. Let's go. I have to seal it now. With all the materials, the unit now needs sealing section by section to be usable. It's a laborious task, but the outcome is worth it. Once this place is sealed, it'll be livable, maybe even comfortable. A place to call your own. Okay, so now I have to spend dice on it using Endure, and I was eyeing this because I also need this to gather scrap. I can gather scrap from the waste using an Endure action, but I have to have at least a +1 to do it. Fuck it. Fuck it, we're doing it. Okay. Okay, now we're done for the day. And we're inching very close. Inching very close to a confrontation with Ethan, I think. And I don't know how that's going to go. If I don't have Yadigan's support. And then Sabine is making me paranoid about that. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, man, that's a nice spread of dice. Look at them dice. 2 5s, 2 6s, and a 4. Not re-rolling that shit. Alright. Alright. Alright, we've got a lot of... Let's go spend a 6 in the aviary. So we're at least making some parallel progress in some stuff here. Actually, I can just spend a 5 on that. because I have a +1. I have a +1 to most stuff now. That's the thing. So 6s and 5s are both guaranteed positive outcome for a lot of this stuff. We'll do a 5 in here, which will give us some energy. And a 6 in here, which will give us some scrap, potentially. Yeah. Well, Ethan's got 2 days left. I should put an action in here. I need to make money. I need to make some money today. The best way to make money is probably gambling. Honestly, as I make 24 cryo here. Or 9 because I didn't get a positive result. So be it. And then I'll put in some work here, I guess. Okay. And now I'm falling out of stable condition tomorrow, so I'm going to spend a scrap to repair some condition. Done. That was a fast day. We knew what we were doing. One, 3, 5, 5, 6. How long are we waiting for Feng? 2 more days. This thing really goes on. Something bad's gonna happen with Ethan tomorrow. I don't think I could possibly complete... Oh, maybe... Oh, let's try. I'm acting out of desperation too, and that's probably not a good motivator, but... Oh my god, they each only give me 1? What are you doing? Hey. Yeah, you can't go in the closet. Come here. Come here. That's Dad. Come here. Give me attention. Okay, come here and I'll pet you. No. Oh, cats. Okay. I'm gonna desperately dump the rest of my dice in here. Please don't be negative outcome. God. Damn it. At least I still get progress. Okay. I did it. This time you meet inside Rabai's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabai turns to greet you, you realize she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Kitty, stop. Hey. Yes, I love you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can't reach you. Kitty. love Bastet. But sometimes she, like all cats, are just like, I want something. What? No, not that. No, not that either. No, not that either. No, not that either. And then you're like, well, I don't know what you want. And then they start doing more things to get your attention. Give me attention. Give me attention. I feel sometimes they just want to annoy you. Once you've been sufficiently annoyed, then they're like, all right, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Okay. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where our artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the two diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools. Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed. She had told me you've been doing the rounds, collecting ties, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handle a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. She raises an eyebrow. See what for yourself? I can trust you. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side, and the conclusion? Still deciding. Well, Sleeper, Rabia says teasingly, please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle. But I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That's why you have come to us. It's true, though. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Oh shit. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two? She looks strangely. No, they are acting alone. Sabine pauses, thrown off for a moment by your renunciation. Rabia takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs a baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling into the baton toward their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop. Then you support them, Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia, Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But, after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Now what? They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Rabia cracks her neck. You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right, she shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little. Bruised from the fall, they roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on their stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs. No coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yadigan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching, but she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate system. Sabine stops to collect himself. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNARP. I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those, Sabine flinches, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yadigan enforcers, using you, as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Oh shit. Rabai's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabai. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabaya closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabaya through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabaya through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye and something passes between you, something like a thank you or a sorry or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Completed a drive. Alright. I'm left with that encounter, leaving me feeling like I can trust Rabaya and maybe Sabine, but not Yatigan as an organization. Or not yet, maybe not just Yannick. So maybe Rabaya and Sabine can both be allies. I feel like that went okay, and it could have gone much worse. And I have another upgrade point, and this one I'm going to save. I feel bad because I keep getting ones. Oh, you know what? Well, I turned the 1 into a 2, which is okay. But at the end of the day, when I have a 1 and no reason to desperately use it, at least I can re-roll that. Alright. So I'm gonna hack this Havenage agent. Start a revolution and take over? I wonder, yeah. I don't think Yannick is the leader of Yatigan. I think he's just a leader. Rabai is a lieutenant. So, yeah, like, maybe we can... I don't know, have they been infiltrated by SNARP? Are they being manipulated? Yeah, trying to find out what's going on. Maybe, like, Yannick has just been turned by them for profit. But I think it might be a good idea to try to help them figure that out. Okay. That's it for the day. I'm going to spend another scrap to keep myself in stable condition for tomorrow. And now we have to deal with Ethan. Is he going to ambush me coming out of here? Those rolls kind of stink, but we'll wait and see what happens. Called it. You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. No? You look at him. He is paler than usual, hunched. He is sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Well, he pauses. Colleague? He smiles weakly. This is big. Really big stuff. About you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember now how SNARP canceled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me? I lost everything, but let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what did you think? That was it? Stay silent. Well, it was, except... Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old SNARP gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who was even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. Who? Ethan grins. That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. And it turns out SNARP canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. It seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on their last contract they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under SNR's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship, Ethan whistles. I think that was the ship that I was on. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forgot. You mean Winter Light? That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this. He pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I brought to light, it seems like you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people at the compressor last time we were there, the owners, and they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessmen, he grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You're a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours, he sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us, he jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. You keep me from getting killed and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. A straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. I'll think about it. Ethan nods. I'm at the compressor. Every cycle. Working. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed SNR shit on his way there from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. I did not expect that. Gain Ethan's protection. Somehow you are once again helping Ethan. This time he has offered his protection if you help clear his debt. Yeah, wow. I was not expecting that. I can work the back. Wash up, stock, check. Cleaning, prep work. Back work at the compressors, all bad smells, flickering lights, and hard scrubbing. Or work the front. Working the door, taking deliveries, staffing the bar. Front work at the compressor is a cocktail of shouted orders, alcohol, and violence. Work off Ethan's debt. Turns out the compressor's owners are local gangsters. Now Ethan has to work off his debt if he wants to keep breathing. Yeah, that was a bit unexpected. No specific data. So the one thing I like about this reroll mechanic is you can spend some dice and then reroll. So like I can use this 5 and then reroll the remainders to see if I get better dice out of them. So that way I don't like end up with like all ones and lose a 5 out of it. So wow. I wonder if things went down that way because I took a more passive approach with Ethan and didn't like actively try to fuck with him or whatever. Interesting. And he kind of made an ass out of himself at that bar and got himself into trouble. Like, that didn't really have anything to do with me. Interesting. All right. I'm going to put the 4 in toward the aviary. Or the 5. Gets me like 2/3 of the way there. I'm going to re-roll these. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's way better. I don't have any digital actions to do right now, so that's way better for today. I do need to eat. I'm going to put another 5 in here. Okay. Wait, what's the negative outcome in this? Is 1. Okay, I need 2, so. And I need to eat. One of these actions gets me fed, right? Block maintenance. It only gets me fed 1 energy. I could put work on the derelict unit as well. Other than paying... Oh yeah, I could put... These guys will pay me, and they usually feed me for putting in work. Let's put a 5 in here and see if I get fed. I did. Okay, awesome. So I made some cryo and got fed there. I'm going to put in 6 toward sealing up my unit here. I'm sealing my unit. It's not a euphemism for anything. And then I have a 2. I have Havenage data I can also sell. What if I have a safe? I could spend a 2 and crack more Havenage data, which is essentially just like spending this 2 and turning it into 10 cryo. Or I could try to progress maybe a safe action. If I have any safe actions that I could take. That's risky. That's a safe action. Noodle manufacturer, that also feeds me. That's risky. That's risky. The gambling is definitely risky. The Ort exchange is risky because I can lose. The Overlook. Risky. That's safe. Okay. So putting in work on the colony ship would be safe. See if there's anything over here that's safe. Working the stacks. Doesn't progress anything though, it's just a way to make cryo. Both of those are not safe. I don't think the aviary work is safe. Oh, the aviary work is safe. So is putting in work toward the Haifa membership, but that's like a lot of progress. And I could try to track Ashton. The 2 turns into a 3. Oh, I could lose 3 energy if I fuck that up, though. Yikes. Lose 2 condition there. Shush, 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 shush. They want Jirol's. Oh. Welcome to Episode Flux. Episode Flux is the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper, telling the story of the refugee flotilla which has arrived at the Eye. All 3 episodes are now available. Completing supply Jirol's action will begin the episode. Be aware that it is intended for late game play. Okay. I have no idea late game. That must mean like how much of this I have done? I don't know what is early, mid, and late game. Okay. That launches a DLC, so I know that I can just leave that for a while. I guess I'll put it into the aviary. Because it's a safe action. Negative outcome. So all I did was get a +1. That's a good negative outcome. Right. As long as I can get supplied 1 scrap per day, I can keep myself... Oh, shit. Ethan says Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable my tracker before they arrive. Okay. This is it. I think this is the doomsday clock. It's big. It's a big clock. And I'm probably fucked when they get here. Get protection. Kitty. Hold on. I'm going to repair myself here for a sec. Hold on. I'll be right back. I think... Oh, never mind. What are you doing? My Bastet was howling on the other end of the house, but she came up here, so... What are you doing? What are you doing? Sweetie? Bastet? What? I should pick her up. Premiere 2. Premiere 2. There's another streamer. His cat comes up for cuddles. He'll just pet his cat, but Bastet doesn't do that. What are you doing? She just comes by. She wants to stay on the floor. All right. We are going to... All right, we're going to end this cycle. Okay. So Maywick seems to be our doomsday clock. It is implied, heavily implied there, that if he gets here, I'm fucked. Those are some good dice again. All right. Feng should be done. So if I can just get this goddamn tracker out of my head. Or wherever it is. When you enter the service dock, Feng is already set up, crouched among stacks of equipment. He is leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone in Haven is just set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware. The mess is here. Feng laughs. Don't question the process, Sleeper. Any updates? Feng beckons you over. He's a set of scans of the waste on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin's got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They're planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the waste, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Feng looks worried. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havagen knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the Greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. I can try. No use. You need to enter the cloud, and there's no cloud to speak of. He turns and winks. That's why I'm going to pay them a visit. Too risky. You forget, Havenage come in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in, as long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network, and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there. Miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed their data threads back into the system that they're tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents, hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for security system, then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter systems to get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. If I can't, then gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're going to find me, simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starter gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats the top of the screen. This sounds risky. Risky? This is audacious at least. He grins. Wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't. Then gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations, then slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I've managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havanage, Yadigan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Hardin isn't snaking away this time, he grins. I've got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way to the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. I think that Hardin is planning to do the same thing that they did to that terminal. I think that they are going to suddenly evict everyone. Ew, I just watched Bastet do a scoot across a carpet out of the bathroom. Fuck. Ew. Cat. That's gross. Fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go clean that up in a minute. Let me finish my thought. So, I think what they're going to do is the same thing they did to that colony they took after the collapse. They're going to boot everyone off the station and scrap the whole thing. I think they're going to do it suddenly. I think that's what the plan is here. And I don't think anyone who lives here wants that to happen. I have an ad coming up in 2 minutes, and I'm going to need more than a couple minutes because I have to go clean something up now. She's fucking doing her poop zoomies now around the house and howling. Okay. I'll be back in a handful of minutes. I'll let this ad run, and I have to go clean up after my fucking cat. I love my cat. Poop zoomies, it sounds bad. It happens. Cats get this, they have like this nerve reflex that after they poop, they just want to run around. It's very common. I don't know why. Bad Seeds cat does that a lot too. All right. I'll be back in it. I'll be back. Oh my god. What a fucking circus. Alright. Sorry about that. Bastet went fucking poop crazy. Clean up. And she's just fucking tearing it up all over the house. And that woke Jim James up. Jim James usually dozes late afternoon. Or late morning, early afternoon. He usually just dozes because rabbits in general are crepuscular, I think is the word. It's when they're awake at, like deer. They're mostly awake at like early day and late day. But he got woken up and he was all fucking agitated. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Okay. I'm sure something else will happen, but for now. All right. So, oh man. I am... Oh, something's going to happen with Rabia. All right. I'm going to finish the aviary here. I'm going to drop a 3. Yes. Yes, that is right, Petseed. Indeed. All right. Even if I get a negative outcome, I will complete this. All right, I very completed it. And now I can germinate spores. The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium in which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. I need 1 grove spores, not the gardener seed. Shit. I was hoping that would be the gardener seed. I don't know what to do with this seed. Okay, so I'm worried that when I go to start this thing, there's so many, everything is an emergency. Everything's a fucking emergency. Whatever Harden is up to may have to do with the fate of the whole station. If I leave the station, that doesn't matter to me. But not only are there people living here, but there are sentiences living in the network. The people might be able to leave, but the sentiences, they'll just destroy them. I feel like it's more about just myself now. I can't get all the sentiences off. If the gardener is doing what I suspect, and that is maintaining a swarm of like millions or billions of sentiences, I can't get them all off the station. They'll die. I think I have to stop Harden, whatever Harden's doing. Even if it means that this bounty hunter catches up with me. So we're going to make that our new priority. Crack Conway. Helping. I mean, while I'm out here, maybe helping. I need to eat again, damn it. There's always something with this body, god damn it. Alright, Jesus. I should at least put in 1... Ah, fuck. Okay. Okay. Here we go. First worm. You'll need to be ready to give this all of my attention. Alright, I'm ready. The worm tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The Conway facility opens up to you. Godspeed, Feng. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper, Feng's voice crackles through, moving in. Nodes, then ports. A whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You are on your own now. I need a 3 or a 2. That's not great. It's not a great start. I'm getting rid of 2 6s to do this. F1 port located. The first layer of security, a ring of doors around the central facility. Time to open them up. Ripperworm creates its feedback loop, overloading the security system. I don't think I'm meant to do them all at once. 4 or 2, yeah, because like you won't just have like all of these dice lying around. I do have a 5 though. The inner S layer security is more complex. One access point won't be enough to locate the port. That's okay. The next one is a 4 or a 2. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Come back and try that one. We have like 6 days or something. Yeah, here's the countdown for it. I need to get 3 progress for Feng. I have 6 days to do it. That's probably not going to be impossible. I can probably do that, especially with rerolls. All right. Godspeed, Feng. I'm going to put in something to start tracking Ashton down since I'm out here. Notice a spike of activity. Vast transfer of information taking place. What's happening out there? I wonder if Ashton's tied into this somehow too. I need to eat. I also need scrap. I'm going to gather scrap. Hold on. Is there another way I can gain scrap doing something? Some other way to gain scrap while working? No, but they will feed me. You know what? We're going to do that. Because I'll get fed a little bit. I have 1 scrap right now, so I don't have to worry about that till tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. I will complete this low-ender stuff. Okay. What's this? Caster. Curious data fence. You cross between 2 walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of Tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. Caster. A low-end data fence. Can't tell if this is background noise from being in the low end, or if it's my cat howling in the background. No, it is background noise from the low end. Okay. You turn to see a man sitting at a Tavla table alone. Somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around you, he gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. Open back headphones for the win? Well, not in this case. Because now I know that if it was my cat, I would be able to hear it. Can't tell. It sounds like my cat. It's not. I know that it's not. It's like that stupid Discord soundboard knock that you have, where it comes out of this ear right at the window to my room. So it's like someone's knocking my window. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Caster, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. You? Yeah, you. Night or day, he asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed white and black. Day. He rotates the board so the white caps are in front of you. Let's begin. You take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6, you a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn rolling a 5 and a 6. Play aggressively. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you target his counters, halting his progress but exposing your caps as you do. I don't mean to offend you, Caster meets your eye. I merely see that you are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He stacks a wall of counters, a boundary you must break. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Always. You roll a double 1 and solidify your wall. Caster whistles. The holding game, commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls a dice and leaps your wall in a single move, but we cannot idle too long, sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person. He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will wake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from its main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Caster's before he solidifies control of the game. So what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all this, Caster asks. What does this tangle of truths make you? Driven. Caster laughs. That much is obvious, sleeper. I see it in your eyes. You're eager to make all this count for something. Caster looks away, through the glass to the crowded units on all sides, but driven towards what? He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Is there an end here, or just endurance? You try a few more rolls attempting to get back in the game, but Caster clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Caster clasps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with that last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see. Please. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosities. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, the call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand there, and as you stand and leave, Caster nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. So Caster's table. I can sell him 5 Havenage or 5 Yadigan data. Interesting. What are the old guard up to these days, I wonder? I have a ship mind for you if you indulge my curiosity. Interesting. The stories about Yadigan are brutal, but I want the truth. A vial of stabilizer should provide the motivation. Oh, interesting. So at least 1 ship mind and stabilizer available there if I can save up some of that data. In the meantime, though, I need to help Fang get through those access protocols. So what dice do I need tomorrow for that? I feel like I kind of wasted dice clearing that atrium right now. Oh well. I need a 4 or a 2 for that one. Okay. And then whatever comes next. But I need at least a 4 or a 2. So we'll go to sleep. I don't need to eat till tomorrow. I do want to keep my stuff up. Keep myself in stable condition here. 4 or a 2? I have a 4 and a 2. I have a lot of low numbers there, actually. Rabaya is also ready to talk, I think, yeah. You'll have to wait. This is more immediately pressing. I'm going to spend the 2 in case I need that 4 for something else. Another worm. The second layer controls the Conway drones tasked with patrolling the hangars. Ripperworm fries the drone's network link. Now they can't report anything. And then 3 more. That needs a 6 or a 4. That needs a 6 or a 5. That needs a 5 or a 3. Okay, well I can drop a 3 in there. How many nodes are on this layer? You've never seen such tight security before. There is a lot of fucking nodes on this. They are right. You can drop a 4 in here. Not much time left. This dark spot is getting narrower, though, as we crack the security layers. This is an insane amount of security. And a 6 or a 5. Let's see if we get lucky with a reroll. We did. The final layer controls surveillance. With this down, Feng should be able to control the facility's cameras. We really fucking drilled through that. The Ripperworm chews through the camera control. The moment it does, a thread shoots from the facility. Thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Somewhere buried in the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He's slicing into the camera control circuits, piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene. 2 figures in a room. One sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin. The unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They're vague, unformed. Problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. The proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward, there is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted, uneven, as if its body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I've been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of A1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest, not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense, not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye, and the people of this station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled, it cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles, Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that, in the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end? The proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim A1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. Oh, fuck. Wow. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. He's selling everyone on the station into fucking slavery. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different than anyone else on this station in the eyes of the people in that room and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named as citizens, celebrated, protected, and in another the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of pierced light, then you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Fang prepared, and then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads heading out into the black to every network device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Fuck you, Hardin. Drive completed. You fucking dick. Good, he deserves that shit. Fuck you.
Jolly good show, Major.
Yeah. Goddamn right. That felt good. Fuck that guy, man. Fuck that guy. Alright. I'm gonna pick up Icebreaker. I think that's a fitting point in time to do that. Okay. Now what? Now wait for the fallout, I guess. I have a 1. I'm going to fall into flickering condition tomorrow. I don't have any scrap to do anything with that. I do have Rabia to talk to. And I need to eat. Okay, let's talk to Rabia first. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing, Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Uh-oh. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabbi places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. Tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabbi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again as if he drops something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it. Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused work. Look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good, I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. I think they're inserting me as an inside man. I think that's what they're doing there. And I think I just passed Yannick's test as a thinker instead of just a follower. I did those two things without even realizing that it was happening at the time. Oh, what's this? Havanage in crisis. The building is chaotic. Most of it is in total lockdown. No one will give you a straight answer about Feng or Hardin. Yeah, it's not surprising. And I have a 1 to spend. Okay, I need to eat. No question about that. And I suppose I can hack some data here. Got some cryo, and I'll get 2 data from this, right? Yep. I'll work toward giving Castor that 5 for a Viola stabilizer. That might be actually pretty well timed. And let's go check out this ward. Wants me to earn Yannick's trust. Patrol the block. The massive block at the center of Lowen is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling this vertical city is a challenge. It's a dangerous task. Yannick is a strange character, but he seems to understand the value of hard work. You'll gain his trust with time. Okay. Shit's gonna hit the fan here in 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. Alright. Go down to flickering condition. $6512. Still don't know what's going on in the cloud here with the gardener. I'm assuming I just have to, like... Maybe I have to make my way in with the Haifa commune before I can do something with this seed. Is that the only one that has progress on it? I suppose I can keep looking for Ashton. Let's drop a 5 in here. Earn some cryo as well. You notice a spike of activity. Yeah. Earn some cryo because that was an interface action. I could put in some work on getting this apartment up. Well, the freighter is here. Still just selling ship mine fragments, which I don't really need right now. I'm gonna spend a 6 there. I think that's a good spot for a 6. Don't forget about my new home. Yeah. I'm gonna... Okay, I'm gonna spend a 1 on a Yadigan agent. Because I want that Viola stabilizer. And then I'm gonna re-roll my 2. God damn it. Just give me another fucking 2. Okay. Because, yeah, like, I want to get work done here. But also, like... It's not urgent. Doesn't feel urgent. I'm going to try to sunbathe. Nice. Okay. Alright, that's it. That's it for today. Next cycle. Alright, and we're going to find out what's happening with Harden now and Feng. You just want to see what it does? I know. There's so many things I want to know what happens. But there's so many goals to be working on in parallel here. Okay. Let's see what's happening with Feng now. Feng grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meetings after endless meetings. Havenage have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Feng is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have a chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation the station has seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. He shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Havenage security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Feng smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Harden with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him? He's being held, yeah. He looks around. I think the idea is to use him as leverage with Conway, get them to back off. Maybe they'll exile him when they are done or hand him over to some core authority, Feng shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit, he shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. I'm not surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration, but I think in the end they'll agree that outing Harden was worth it, whatever the methods. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havenage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Harden's problem was that he didn't believe in people, he believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Feng squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, Feng raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That track of yours doesn't just show SNARP where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNARP your body's irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? That's perfect. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand, then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Feng, a little nervously. The same? Give it time. He pats you on the shoulder and looks at his terminal screen. The logs tell me it works, so feel it or not, you are free. Feng lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Feng wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs, and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub and the outer rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place is a future, and it is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Wow, I disabled my tracker. I disabled my tracker. With your tracker disabled, SNRP will no longer be able to send bounty hunters after you. You are free. Complete active scenes. You aren't finished with this cycle. Okay. The timer's gone. We did it. The bounty hunters are off. Snap. I was right to trust him. Oh, Ethan. Now that I don't need him anymore. I disabled my tracker. I don't need you anymore. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods, and you return the greeting. You know already that you won't find Ethan here, but you had to be sure. With your tracker reporting you dead, he wouldn't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on it when his slate chirps, letting him know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine his screaming and the swearing, too. Is that all you were to Ethan, another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question to ask now when he has fled the station, but it bothers you anyway. You take one last look and walk out. You doubt you'll ever come back to this place or the memories it holds. You walk back out into the lights of the bright market and allow yourself a smile. So this is what Feng meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. Okay. So that's it. He's gone. Wow. We really are free now. I actually feel relieved. It feels good. Work's not done, though. But at least our life is not in imminent danger. Ethan's gone. Ethan thinks I'm dead. Ethan thinks I'm dead, and the bounty hunter and the corporation think that I'm dead. Okay. But there's still people I want to help. I need to help Yannick. I need to help figure out what's going on with Yannick, because Yannick is a connection to S and ARP. And they'll know somehow, or they could know, that I'm a sleeper still, and that I'm active. But I also have made friends now that I want to help. Okay. There's like nothing urgent happening right now. I'm kind of relieved. There's a flurry of activity. Okay. Now that we might actually be able to make a home for ourselves here, maybe it's worth finishing this apartment. I can actually stay somewhere. Alright. Alright, Free Frag. Alright. I have a home. Achievement get. I did. I got an achievement. So I have the empty container here still, but I also now have a home in the low end. So I have the same things. Energy and condition loss are the same. But I also have this. There's signs a stray animal has been nosing around near the unit. A handful of chits for some crackers should bring it out of hiding. A pet. You buy crackers from a shop downstairs and crumble them up into their tray. Something moves in the shadows. It's a kitty! A low-end cat. The stray hops up onto a work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence. It just sits there beside the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. Yeah! Kitty! What is this cat's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen another in the low end, but in this vast megastructure, that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this one down in the Warrens. You look at its sleek dark fur and sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged. It looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is the stray's apartment which you're squatting in. Watch the stray. While the stray is looking out at the station, you feel its attention on you. The cat? No. Remember, I don't need... Yeah, right? Bad seed. No. So the stray is looking out at the station. You feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. See? Bad seed, it knows. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eyes, perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. The stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of a life totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. The stray licks crumbs from its fur. Do you like it here? The stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. It is hard to imagine the stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit to it, but the stray's pleasure at existing here in this place shines through its every sinew. It is not that the stray is always happy on the eye, but that the stray is engaged by this place. It is alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one that the stray looks out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the stray, a kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with the other, a point of connection. Then all at once the stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit, and brushes along your legs, and then it is gone, out through the unit door and back into the corridors of the low end. That's kind of how I feel about... If you buy crackers and put them out, the stray will always come. That doesn't mean they like you, though. They're a cat after all. I kind of feel like that is a very good summation of how my character is interacting with this station. Came here originally just to try to survive, but is starting to make connections, right, with people and places on this station. All right, I have 2 upgrade points, but I am going to hold on to them because I think I want to put a 3 into one of these on my next drive completion. I have a 6 and a 3. I am going to hack a Yatigan agent with my 3 and swap this data for a stabilizer. We will then see if that's repeatable or not. I don't think it is. That's enough for now, Sleeper. I have other things to attend to. No. So I got a stabilizer. That's fine. It's a free stabilizer. Well, not free, but you know what I mean. All right. I don't know what's going on in Havenage. So I don't necessarily want a place on the colony ship anymore. I think I can make a life for myself here if maybe we get rid of whatever Yannick has got going on. However, I do want to find out also what's going on with my other friends. Continue tracking Ashton. Do I get anything for... No. So I have a chance to get some chits. I also need to eat. Okay. We'll finish tracking down Ashton, I think, since we're very close to that. There's Ankita. The trail ahead extends deep into the overgrown section of the Greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the Greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen, brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you're pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Call Ankita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he's here? Yes. Come now. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out. The channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead the stars wheel with the motion of the eye and your mind wanders. Try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile despite everything. Seems like an improvement. Sleeper, Ankita's hiss brings you out of your reverie. He is in the collapsed stack? I think so. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth, work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine in the greenway with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through the dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, and you desperately want to rest, but Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there is a faint glow from the collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits amongst the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale and sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there's an object, a cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They're twisted, broken open. Wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eye on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Wait. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit. You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of your head, she screams at the wall of the tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stop! Quiet, sleeper, Ankita shouts. A shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Do that again and I swear to God I'll tear their head off. Ankita shouts to them. Sleeper, you stay down. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out. I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water. Rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Ankita shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to here, Ashton, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what, some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita, it isn't like that. I needed the ship mine. You have to understand, they would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mine and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita, no curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there. They're just bait, right? To draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Ankita snarls, don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he inches closer. Please. Can't let you take it, Ashton. Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship mine and go. Ankita loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop a guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement. A struggle. A shot. Another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around inside the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton's bleeding into the water. The red and the green. Ankita's standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, of humanity. They're just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you're already gone. I should have gone in without her. Man, I didn't like how that played out. Oh, that sucks. Well, not everything works out well, I guess. How was I to know? How was I to know he stole the ship mine to save another sleeper? Oh, man. Ankita, you stupid mercenary. Alright, well, I gotta eat. Have to eat. Alright, we'll sleep in our new apartment. But I mean, Ashton was also armed, so that could have gone poorly for me if he considered me a threat of some kind. I don't know. I am full of regrets. I am full of regrets. Talk to Ankita about what happened. Yeah, I'll have to, if I can find her. Ugh. The ambergris. Amber's docked here at a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, "Sleeper, stay. I'll be ready soon." Yuck. Alright. I think what I need to do next is put some work in with Yannick. Be nice if I get paid a bit, but I don't think I will. I'm going to... Let's see. I'd like to drop a 5 into something else. Maybe gambling? Give me some cryo. And then I'll re-roll. Two 4s and a 2. Alright. I'm going to put a 4 into here. Don't be negative, please. Okay. Neutral outcome. I'll take it. Alright. We got an ad coming up, so... I'm going to step away for a minute. And then I'll be back. All right. I'm back. Yeah, man. With Ashton, it's like, obviously, maybe I could have done something different in retrospect, but like, given what I knew, and Kitu's my friend, I didn't know anything about Ashton the Sleeper, and I didn't know that she was just going to go to kill him. I thought maybe she would have confronted him or something. And Kita, I thought we were friends. I mean, I guess we're still friends, but she's killed someone now, and I don't know if I can agree with that. It kind of goes against my personal philosophy. All right. So I've got a 4 and a 2. I need to eat today. I kind of want to put... What do I want to do now? Like, I'm not in any rush now. Or at least nothing is rushing me currently. Do I want to put in a shift? You know what? Let's try putting in a shift here at the Overlook. Okay, well, it's not a lot of work, but it was some work. Man, like, Ethan's gone. The bounty hunter's not coming anymore. Man. I suppose I could use my 2... Thing's gonna give me a ship mind. What's his face? Caster. I have a cat, sort of. That's true. I have a sort of cat. Or I sort of have a cat. With this 2, I could sunbathe. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay. That gives me the energy that I need for the day. And I can always go and be a shroom farmer. That's right. I'll feed my stray today too. The stray crunches up the crackers as you watch. Sometimes they'll let you stroke them. Sometimes not. Alright. We will end this cycle for today. I have to do some stabilization work, I think, because I'm going to lose another condition stage tomorrow. Anything urgent coming up on this part of the station? No. I haven't been up to the hub recently. It's just the spacers, I think. And it's like me and the spacers just kind of like... I haven't put any work towards spacers. These dice are not great. Oh, it was way worse. That was way worse. I'm not doing anything important today, Jesus. Yeah. Yup. Damn. Damn, son. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna go do some hacking. That's what I'm really gonna do. I'm gonna save a 2 for sunbathe action, I guess. But otherwise, I'm gonna use both my, I'm gonna use all my stuff here. Let's get some Havenage data. And then some Yatagan data. Well, that's another Havenage. What happens if I use a 1 for a sunbathe action? What kind of outcome does that give me? 50-50 neutral or negative. It's a safe action, so I think even with negative, I'll still get 1 energy. Well, also it gets upgraded to a 2. The 2 gets upgraded to a 3. Did I buy... Oh, these guys are back. I can buy scrap from them again. Gonna buy some scrap. That lets me stretch out my condition. I'm gonna buy another scrap. In a way, it's better to use my dice to sunbathe and then use my cryo to buy scrap to maintain my condition instead of spending the cryo on food. I guess it depends what I have more of. Oh, I have a ship mine fragment. Nice. Okay, data. That's 50 cryo in Yatigan data. That's not bad, huh? The acquisitions officer eyes you suspiciously as you download the data to her terminal. This is more than she was expecting. I don't know if I need fragments for anything, but they'll pay me for fragments there too. And I might as well buy my last allotment of scrap. And then I have a 2 that I'm going to spend on a sunbathe action. Nice. And I'm going to inject some stabilizer. Okay. I'm going to feed my stray. And then end my cycle. Wasn't much we could have done that day. 2 2s and 2 1s. Alright, 2 6s, a 5, a 1, and a 2. That's a pretty decent spread. Alright, I'm going to put in some work on Yannick. And Kita wants to talk to me. Actually, maybe I should do that first. You never know what comes out of some of these actions. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled in clumps of dirt clinging to her armor. You both eye each other. Ankita, he holds up a hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. I'm going to stay silent. For that sleeper that... She stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. It's okay. She nods, then looks up to the stars. I've never... Stops herself. Thank you. He just shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look. Can you come with me? It's easier if... Alright, lead on. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway. A quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You've been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering glow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Follow her in. You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he'd just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she is reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita from somewhere behind you. Try to think of something to say but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryochips into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Drop the chits. You open your hand and let the chits fall to the floor. They clunk into the dirt and she does not pick them up. You turn without saying a word and continue up the track. She does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. You think of those ugly metal bars in the dirt. A life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. Ugh. The achievement I unlocked from that was called The Bad End. Suppose that could have been called The Good End had I done it differently, but what can you do? Sorry things worked out that way, Ankita. Alright, I am gonna drop a +2 in engineering. So now my 4s and 5s will also count for 6s. And I have 3 6s. I'm gonna go back and drop a 6 into Yannick here. Yeah, like, I feel bad for how that played out, but Ankita was too quick on the draw. She wasn't thinking clearly. I don't know how to feel about it. Don't know how to feel about it. Caster wants Havenage data. I can grab that with my 2. Where's my Havenage data? Is that Havenage? Yeah. But I'm definitely not going to accept pay for what happened. If that's what merc life is like, then I don't want to be a merc. And I'm glad that I didn't end up going on as a mercenary. It's a good point. It's something I didn't think about. When I was considering all the different ways to try to protect myself from SNARP or whatever, when I was like, oh, I could go on as a mercenary and learn how to protect myself and potentially earn the money to provide for myself, but I wasn't thinking, what does that mean to earn money as a mercenary, right? What does that mean to earn money as a mercenary? That means that you are earning money sometimes to kill people. All right. I think I should put in some work with the Haifa commune now. I get grove spores. I should get some grove spores as well, because now that I have the grove open, it should at least be doing something for me. You find a chamber thick with pale particles. You gather as many as you can, unsure what species or types might be in the mix. Cocktail of unknown spores gathered from the Greenway groves. All right, let's drop one in here. You extract the spores from the sample print and mix with water, then inject them into the prepared mulch. It is precise work. Okay, so once they're filled, so I actually need to have 3 of these before it'll go. Put in some work with the Haifa commune. Work the canteen, I guess. New drive. Join the Haifa commune. The Haifa commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Maybe. And I have a 1. And no pressing need to spend it on anything in particular, so let's re-roll it. A 6. That is a good swap, especially when I don't need data to go right from a 1 to a 6. I am going to... Spend it in Yannick again, I guess. 6s are helpful here because I have no bonus on engage. Very close to earning his trust. Alright. Bedtime. Feed my kitty. End the cycle. Two 5s, 2 3s, and a 1. Okay, I can spend a 3 on a Havenage agent here. And then I will have enough data to give to Caster. And we'll find out what that does when I have those both filled out. What is this giving me? A shipmine core. I appreciate what you've presented, but I have nothing more to offer. So that's it. And I have a shipmine core. I know I can sell the shipmine core for 150 cryo, but I'm going to hold on to it for now because I don't need cryo currently. Let's see. This is dangerous. If I drop a 3 in here, that might be too dangerous, so I'm gonna drop a 5 in here. Okay. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabias says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. Pause. It's risky, but obviously you're the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to Essenarp. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabias says to be careful. Sabine continues, the data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to SNR, but we can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or it is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder just in case and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. Find the relay. Yannick has asked you to collect his medicine from his office. Now is the only chance to find that SNR relay. Okay, let's do this. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNARP. Rabaya said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings, then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection. A tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNARP. There it is. You pause for a moment. Then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame, and it crumples, sparks, and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out into the walkway where Yannick lies still, enforcers gathered around him, bemused. Leave. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was, or had become, is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNARP. He was a sophisticated proxy? He was a fucking proxy. The low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You are still waiting for Rabaya to get in touch, but you trust that she will. He was a plant. He was a fucking proxy. He was a fucking plant. I think. He wasn't even a person. That's fucked up. As soon as the transmitter was destroyed, he dropped dead. The only reason that would happen is if he were a proxy, like the one that was talking to Hardin. That's insane. Fuck that guy. I wonder if he made me the second he saw me. Piece of shit. All right. Let's re-roll these dice. It's a bit better. Go get some more spores. All right. Take it. I only needed one more anyway. All right. So now wait. 4 days for that to grow. The spores need time to germinate and spread in the aviary. The indirect sun of a few cycles should help them along. And then put in some work with a hypha commune, I guess. Get paid working here, so I'm gonna upgrade this to a 6. Beds are slower than the stacks. They reward patience, not just effort. As you finish, the canteen workers bring out food for your cycle. Oh, okay. Nice. So I got to eat, too. Right. I gotta find out where this seed goes, man. I want to find out what this gardener AI is up to. And I haven't heard from Navigator in a while either. I wonder what Navigator's up to. I am all up on my allotment of scrap. Okay. Let's give myself some condition repair. Buy some food for my cat. It's not my cat, but it's a cat. And then we'll end the cycle. I think we'll do one more day, and then I'll be done. I gotta go get lunch. I'll feed myself some crackers. Ew. They suck. At least there's a 6 in there that I can spend before re-rolling. Anything from Castor? No. I guess if Castor has anything for me, it'll light up. Nothing going on down here. I gotta wait some time for Rabai to get in touch. I wonder if I'm in like the mid-late game phase now. If that's what they meant, like as for like refugee stuff, but I want to get this stuff kind of fixed. I'm assuming once like everything is done and it's just repeating cycles and keeping myself alive, that's probably considered late game. So I might be able to move on with like that expansion story. Okay. That's going. Let's put in some time with the Haifa commune. They'll feed me. Or if this will feed me or no? I don't know. Yeah, they fed me. After seeing you prepare the food, the grow bed workers invite you to share a meal with them. The conversation flows warmly and freely. Let's re-roll. That's nice too. I'll put a 5 in over here. Get more food. All right, and now I am a Haifa member? Communist, noun, someone who joins a commune. It's true. Oh, do I have a dorm up here now too? Okay, let's talk to Rico here first. Rico, head of the Haifa botany. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that is labeled laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd ask to see you, but you still have no idea about what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at the lab bench, camouflaged by the dabbled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here? These were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. Botany program? Yes, the plants in the greenway are vital to Haifa's continued existence. It's important to understand them. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land of the greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? They die? Eventually, yes. They cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they endured, she smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they're taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch, but we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet too, a rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny broadleaves of shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system is stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardly beings, I know that much, and you can speak to the eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they're found, the better. Ouch. Yeah, right? You sleepers are hardly beings. Yeah, I don't like that so much. But mutually beneficial relationship here. Rico may not think much of me as a sleeper, but she needs me to go deeper and find out why this biosphere is self-sustaining. But we already have an idea of why it's self-sustaining, and that might be that gardener AI, and getting deeper into the eye here may be how we get that information to make contact with the gardener. So, tit for tat, I suppose. I will try. Thank you, she smiles, and thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made, and you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible magical green. Okay. You drive. Help Rico's experiments. The botanist, Rico, wants you to help her understand the closed ecosystem of the Greenway. Well, I want to understand the closed system of the Greenway, too. So this is just another place to sleep. I'm not sure what the point is of having multiple places to sleep. Maybe this becomes different. And Kita is still docked. But I have a feeling we're just, like, done. Feeling Kita and I are no longer friends. She is kind of a murderer. That wasn't a job. She killed him because it was personal. Yeah, sorry, Ankita. I don't think we can be friends. Alright, what am I doing next? I have some dice. I already did my reroll. 2 3s and a 1 is not great. Okay, let's go see what this lab thing is. Deliver spores. Rico's asked for samples of spores from the deep groves. With them, she might better understand how this biosphere functions. Okay, so you want me to forage for spores in the mushroom groves? I can work the stacks. Give me some cryo. With a 3, it's a safe action. Anything else to do with the commune? Work assignment. Commune members are expected to turn up for work assignment. In return, their needs are met. All are treated equally. So they'll feed me in exchange for a dice. But I can also feed myself in exchange for a dice by sunbathing. I feel like I want to work out here in the wastes and get more scrap. See, I could get to a self-sustaining point here. If I spend dice to get a scrap each day, I can maintain a stable condition, right? That's the first thing. And then if I spend dice working at the commune, actually, if I even just spend another die sunbathing, I can keep my energy up. So if I have 2 decent dice every day, I can now sustain myself without needing stabilizer. But I have a personal interest in making sure that whatever's going on with Yadigan, that S and ARP doesn't have their fucking tentacles in it anymore. I don't want, if I'm going to make a home for myself on this station one way or the other, I don't want S and ARP anywhere near this fucking place. I don't want them anywhere near this fucking place, man. I also want to know what's happening with Navigator, because Navigator's my friend. Alright. I am going to try to put a 3 out here. I think like a 3 is not a very good idea. It's dangerous. I could really damage myself by fucking this up. You know what? I'm not going to. I would spend a 3 on a risky action, but not a dangerous action. Let's see. Let's spend a 3 sunbathing here. Okay. It fills my energy. Let's spend a scrap. Perhaps he's chilling with spacers? Navigator? Actually, that's a very good point, right? I haven't done any work with the spacers. I don't even know what they're up to. Maybe it'd be worth spending a 3 up there and getting to know the spacers. I could do a +1 here. The negative outcome is just losing energy. I can deal with that. Okay. You start to draw connections from manifest to manifest, noting the patterns and flows. There's something beautiful in the chaos. Oh, and look, there's a gimbal lounge that we've unlocked. Buy a spacer mail. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning sphere, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. Anything here in the cloud? No, but I have this now. Is Hunter or Killer back? There are no nodes, though. But I don't like that that's still there. Is that just up there? Yes. Okay, well, that's good at least. And I have a 1. It's a fucking 1. What am I going to do with a 1? Can I turn this into cryo somewhere? I suppose I could turn it into cryo by just hacking data and then selling it. I have Havenage data to sell. It should be, though. No, like, so Killer, we trapped in the mainframe. So we looped Killer and left it alive up there. But it's isolated, so there shouldn't be any way for it to interact with us if we stay out of the mainframe. Hunter was caught in a loop, a logical loop, trying to figure out whether or not it should turn itself in as sentient. And we left it like that. So I don't know if Hunter... I don't know how long Hunter's going to be stuck like that. But the worst that Hunter could do, as far as I know, is invoke Killer, but Killer can't get out of the mainframe anymore. So, like, what would happen? And that doesn't necessarily, like, just because there's a timer there, it doesn't necessarily imply that something bad's going to happen. It just means that something will happen. But that timer only shows up in the hub anyway, and there's nothing to do up there one way or the other. So it's unclear to me what that means right now at this moment in time. Okay, can I work? No, I don't want to work that shift. That's dangerous. Alert at the bar is risky. I don't really want to put a 1. I think I'm just going to hack more Yadigan data, I guess. I'm worried that by, like, selling data, if I sell too much data to one side or the other, that it's essentially going to come off as choosing sides. But that won't stop me. Honestly, with Harden gone, I'm not so worried about helping Havenage anymore. I'm mostly concerned with S and ARP and what's going to happen. Getting their hands all in my shit. All right. I'm going to feed our cat. And we're going to end the cycle. Decent spread of dice there. There's nothing urgent here. There's not really anything going on. Okay, I think that's a good place to call it for today. Oh man, I'm really sad about how things went down with Ashton, but I think I did the best I could with the information I had at the time. I trusted Ankita, and she used that trust to murder possibly 2 people. So I think that's on her. And hopefully I didn't kill Yannick by destroying his transmitter. Hopefully it wasn't a person, because I don't know if I want to kill him. But oh, Free Frag, thank you. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Free Frag, Bad Seed, very nice to have you for company here. Man, I'm really into this game. This is a very well done RPG, and this, the studio. Can you believe this was made by a single developer studio? Just one person make this game and its sequel. I mean, I guess there's not much as far as animation goes, right? But still, it's very impressive work for one person. They also have another game they released before this one, which is supposed to be pretty interesting too. You might like that one, Free Frag. It's you're an AI tasked to assist a scientist that's exploring an alien planet. So while the scientist is going around and gathering stuff physically, you're being tasked as an AI to keep them alive and make sure you help them with their experiments and stuff. So we might check that one out after we're done here too, because that seems really interesting as well. It's good. The stories are good anyway. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I don't mind like the point. It's essentially a fancy point and click adventure, right? It's like a choose your own adventure thing. I like it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, be good, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy your week. I hope that you're all doing very well. Thanks for watching and supporting. I'll be back on Tuesday, as far as I'm planning now, anyway. Thanks, Betsy. Lots of ideas for a cyberpunk RPG. Yeah. I wouldn't mind playing, yeah, like something in the Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, you know what I might go back and do a play of? Shadowrun. Shadowrun is really good too. It's a good game. That's more RPG-ish. Not saying that Cyberpunk, like the one from CD Project Red or whatever was bad, but it's more actiony. Oh, hey Saul, what's up? just in time for me to leave. Anyway, I like these games. It's kind of like nice to just play like just a straight RPG every now and then, and not like an action RPG or a JRPG. Still wakes the deep. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing, you fucking weirdos. Okay, I've been saying goodbye long enough. It is time to go. He likes my ass. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.